Hi guys, my name is Alexa and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then hi, welcome. Thank you for coming. If you are not new here, then hey, welcome. Thank you for coming. Today is the perfect, gloomy, kind of a little bit spooky autumn weather. It's been raining all morning and I'm about 15 minutes into Coraline. I have my cup of coffee and I'm gonna do some crafts. If you have not been living under a rock, you know what a Louise Carmen journal is, and I want one, but I can't front 300 euros to have a leather-bound journal that I am gonna make myself. I have this. I ordered this from Etsy. I'll put the seller in the description box down below if you're interested. This is like, it's really good quality and it's really nice. I've overfilled it to the point where it doesn't close properly. So what I want from the journal I'm gonna make today is just one with like a little bit of a longer flap. I'm definitely gonna make an A5. I think I have enough leather to make an A6 as well, so I can have like a pocketbook to carry around with me. I don't know if that one's gonna be tri-fold or just a bifold, but let's just see how it goes. I ordered this really beautiful piece of leather. It's A2, I got it from Amazon. I got most of my supplies for today from Amazon, but this is what the cover is gonna be. And it is gonna patina over time. I got two different colors of elastic, this like maroon and a baby pink, which are gonna go really well. I've got eyelets with like the stamping thing. And actually today in the grocery store, super random, I found one of these and like this, and it came with eyelets as well. So I think I'm gonna just use like a small piece of leather just for some trialing and see what works best for me. I also have some jump rings that I can attach my charms with later. And obviously I'm gonna just be using the inserts that I have in here already to put into my A5. And for the A6, I got some of these mini Cahiers moleskin notebooks in A6, and they are, the black one is planed and this brown one is ruled, so I have a little bit of variety. So if you're interested in joining me on this little crafting autumnal Coraline day, then grab a cup of coffee and let's get started.
Alright, so I am actually voice-overing this part of the video because I thought I could better explain what exactly it is that I am doing. Let's begin with, naturally, macaroni all up in my damn business, as per usual. Just kidding, I birthed him, he's literally my son. Anyway, what the fuck? Okay, so as you can see, I'm using the red journal as a sort of template to guide me into creating the correct size for my new A5 journal. And I pushed it out a little bit to create that a little bit of a longer flap that I was talking about. Yeah, I'm very lucky I had that because it means I didn't actually have to work very hard on finding the correct measurements or anything like that. Hashtag yay. Okay, so now I'm just cutting out the journal. I'm using fabric scissors. I don't really know how normal scissors would have worked in this case, but have use what you have, obviously. I'm using the red journal as a template for the rounded corners as well, which in hindsight, I could have definitely done that without using a template, but it's fine. Maybe they were more even like this. I don't know. Basically, I'm using the red journal as a template for everything. You'll be able to see in the next clip after this one, maybe? Yes. That I'm mapping out where the holes for the eyelets have to go. So I just marked at the top of the page, like 2 little lines. Obligatory petting time for macaroni, excuse the pause. And I did the same thing at the bottom as well, which is happening in 3, 2, 1. And I'm using that as a guide for where my holes are going to be. As you can see here, I actually, like, I don't know why I'm holding a ruler, because I didn't actually use any measurements for any of this. I just kind of winged it most of the time, especially with the eyelets. Like, I held up notebooks against it and stuff like that just to make sure it was, like, relatively where I needed it to be. But it all turned out fine. I think the only thing I actually used ruler for is to make sure that it's kind of straight at the top and at the bottom, so it's like not wonky across. And I probably had like a 1 to 1.5 centimeter gap between the top hole and the second hole, like at the top and at the bottom, if that makes sense. Anyway, so here I am just looking at what kind of eyelets I like. The ones on the left were the bigger ones that I got at the grocery store, and I really ended up liking the look of the smaller ones because it had this like brassy color, which is the one I ended up going for. And here I am just doing a little test a piece from one of the corners just to make sure that the hole size was going to be correct for the eyelets, which it was. Yay. And then we got to punching the holes, and this was actually a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I really had to use my arm strength, and it didn't work properly. The leather didn't actually come out. It just kind of stayed in the hole, and I had to pick it out. But I think it definitely saved me a lot of time rather than if I would have used the tool that came with the eyelets that I bought from Amazon. Which that tool is this one on the screen right now. So it came with that like base bit and then 2 of those longer pieces, and one of them was to punch holes, one of them is to get the eyelet end on. I was just doing on my little test piece to figure out if I could use the eyelet put together tool, the one with the pink handles that I'm holding right now, for the smaller ones that I bought, or if it was just to be used for the bigger ones that came with the tool. And lo and behold, it was just for the bigger ones. Macaroni break again. I went to go get my hammer this time, and obviously he needs to he needs to help. He needs to check out what's going on. Don't mind him, he's new. And here's me punching in my first eyelet. It was incredibly loud, like earth-shatteringly loud. Macaroni was so afraid. It was like cowering in a corner. You can see like how everything on the table is just like bouncing up and down. Yeah, I probably could have done something to mute the sound a little bit, like put on a softer surface, but whatever. I was so in the zone. And I think because they were like the cheaper eyelets and not like a proper eyelet you could get at like the, I don't know what kind of store you get an eyelet at, but that store, the ends sometimes didn't bend in properly, so it didn't hold it in place, but it's fine. It was good for the price that I got it at. And then I realized that I actually didn't do the middle one. So that was me just measuring out where to put it, and I had to use the punching tool with the hammer to get it through, and that was awful. That took entirely too long because my whole punching tool that I'd used for the sides wouldn't have, like, I couldn't fit the leather through even if I folded it, which was a pain. But oh well, there we did it, and now comes the nightmare that is the elastics that I chose. The red one, I couldn't even fucking fit it through the holes. Like, it was just way too fat. I think it was 3 millimeters, and the pink one was 2 millimeters, which is the one I ended up using because I didn't have any other ones, and I really wanted to finish it at this day. So now I'm just putting in the elastics to make sure that I can fit my journal pages inside. I'm just measuring out exactly how long it needs to be by kind of putting them together like you're seeing me doing now before I cut them, because I'd rather have too much elastic than too little, and then I have to end up throwing away a huge piece of elastic. Anyway, I knotted it together quite tightly. I did like a double knot, I think, and then I cut the ends and I burned them with my lighter, and that just got rid of any kind of frayed string, and I think it also melted the elastic a little bit to the string, so it was a little bit more secure. And then I just repeated the same thing on the other side. Honestly, if there was anything that I can recommend or any takeaway from this video, it is to make sure that your elastic is not as thick as that. It was way too thick. And the one I bought now, like editing Alexa, creating this voiceover right now, I did buy, I think is 0.8 millimeters elastic, and I have to like double it, but it's so much better. Yeah, as you can see here, I couldn't even get it through the middle hole. Like, it was just, I had to try and stuff it through, and then I lost the eyelet. It was a huge pain in my ass, and I ended up having to put in a bigger eyelet, which I really am not a big fan of the look of. But yeah, it's fine. We move. For what it is, I finished it, and I ended up changing it to the red elastic anyway. Like, you're gonna be able to see that in a minute. Yeah, but make sure your elastic isn't too fat. I mean, 1 millimeter would probably be fine as well. The one thing I can say about a thicker elastic, it just does make it feel a little bit more secure, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it was a little bit too thick, especially for that middle thingy. Yeah, I couldn't get it through. But anyway, I do really like the way it looks. I think it's so pretty. It claps all around. And here's just me adding the final touches. Like putting in my pen clip. I decided on a moon one, even though like it doesn't hold on the journal at all, so I don't know. A back pocket would be really nice, but I still haven't done that. I added a back pocket to the smaller journal that you're gonna see in a minute. Oh my god, hashtag spoilers. Thank you for listening. This is VoiceOver Alexa signing off. I'm finished. I ended up being able to make 3 different journals. I'm very excited about them. Let me give you a tour. We'll start from the top. This I just kind of had like leftover, so this is more like Paper Republic inspired because they have the traveler's notebooks. This one just has 2 A6 notebooks in it. I'm not super like set on the string size. I think I might order some more and just get it thinner, and then I'll be able to like add some charms and stuff because I really had to force it through this eyelet. The next is another A6, but this is a trifold. I used the elastic from the red journal in the beginning of the video and just attached it because I was worried I couldn't get it through the eyelet, which I made this one after this one. So I would have been able to get it through, but I'm really happy with this. And I've got 4 journals in here and a pen with a really cute pen clip. I do wish I had like a pocket here that I could attach it to, but that might be like a later project because I could definitely sew that on. I've never sewn through leather, so I don't know how difficult that would be. So this can be like my on the go, in my bag journal without me having to lob around like an A5 full size. And then last is my baby. Oh my god, so pretty. I don't have a charm for it, and I did use the red elastic, which I had to change out this eyelet and make it bigger because the other one like
completely fell out. But I did attach the 2 charms that were on the red journal. This is a ruby, obviously not a real ruby. And then this is just a little dagger. And I have my normal journals in here with another cute little pen loop. This one's the moon. I'm really happy with it. I think it's super cute. It definitely took a lot longer than I was expecting, especially hammering in all the eyelets. That was a pain in my ass, honestly. Yeah, and it was really loud. I'm sure my neighbors love me right now. But yeah, these are my new babies. I'm very pleased with them. I hope that I was able to at least kind of show you how to do it. You should definitely try this at home. It's fun and not that difficult. It just takes a minute. If you have a gloomy, rainy day that feels like autumn and you feel like you need a new journaling companion, then you should definitely do this. Thank you so much for watching and giving me your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to give me a little comment if you decide to recreate a Louise Carmen journal yourself. I would love to know maybe some tips and tricks that I could have done better this time, because no doubt I will be doing this again. This is going to become like my new hyperfixation, probably, just making a shit ton of leather journals. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon.